Losing a brother in arms is not easy, but he went down fighting. Dylan had the ability to lead, but not only that, he was fun to be around.
Remembering the life of fallen Arvada police officer Dylan Vakoff.
He would do what needed to be done. Dylan was a hero.
Officer Vakoff was a Colorado native and died in the line of duty protecting his community.
Dylan rushed to the call. It didn't matter that it was at the end of a shift.
His family and friends are honoring his life for a man who gave the ultimate sacrifice while serving his community.
We come accustomed to death in this field, but it's never easy when it's one of our own.
He knows that his last breaths on this earth were in the arms of heroes.
This man was the epitome of what you want in a police officer.
Friends, family, and the community are remembering the life and sacrifice of Officer Dylan Vakoff. The Arvada police officer was shot and killed while responding to a call on Sunday.
Officer Vakoff was just 27 years old. He was an Air Force veteran and grew up in Arvada.
First responders and the community lined the procession route this morning. That procession went to Flatirons Community Church in Lafayette for Officer Vakoff's memorial service.
It's a hard day for the Arvada Police Department, who is grieving the loss of an officer for the second time in just 15 months.
Denver 7's Jason Grenauer takes a look at this emotional day.
Just the unfortunate opportunity to pay our respects to Officer Vakoff and his family and the Arvada Police Department.
An unfortunate opportunity as the public lined the processional route for Officer Dylan Vakoff.
He was an officer that sacrificed everything for his community, and I think that's coming out and standing on the side of the highway is the very least we could do.
The tragic and unfortunate loss, the opportunity to say goodbye. Inside Flatirons Community Church, the draped flag and honorable traditions of a law enforcement funeral as Arvada's police chief spoke about Vakoff as an officer.
If you listed all of the qualities you would want in today's police officer, Dylan had every one of them. And as a police officer, he had so much more to do and so much more he was going to accomplish.
Chief Strait announced today Officer Vakoff was posthumously awarded the Medal of Valor, the highest honor in the department, as those closest to him in that department shared their lighthearted memories of Dylan.
I'll remember him for two things: his laugh and that piece of fabric that he considered to be shorts.
Let me give you an idea what Dylan's workout was. Monday, biceps, triceps. Tuesday, bicep, triceps. Wednesday, bicep, triceps.
But the emotion of the day came as his girlfriend and fellow officer stepped to the podium.
Our time we had will never be long enough, and I'm not sure how to continue on without you. But I will do it. I will do it for you. I will do it for myself. I will do it for everyone in this room, because that's what it means to be a brother and sister in blue. It's what Dylan would want.
Then a letter from Dylan's mother was read.
My wish is that every person in this room leaves with a piece of Staff Sergeant Officer Dylan Vakoff with them and chooses to do good. And today I charge you, ask yourself, what would Dylan do?
Son, boyfriend, airman, Officer Vakoff.
Officer Vakoff, you are clear for end of watch. Rest easy, Dylan. You and that smile will never be forgotten.
A family, a department, a community saying goodbye and saying thank you. I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
The community lost a tremendous person. Officer Vakoff's sacrifice is being felt across the country. In Utah, woodworker Nate I spent this week building a giant replica of Vakoff's badge. He started making memorial carvings a few years ago when a Utah officer was killed in the line of duty. I says he hopes the memorial gives some comfort to Vakoff's family.
This badge represents a massive sacrifice to this community. There's a lot of us that care, and there's a lot of us that have your backs, and there's a lot of us that are very grateful for what you do for the community.
I usually shows up in person to present the badge, but he couldn't make it to Colorado this week. So one of his friends made the trip and coordinated with Vakoff's family to give them the badge before today's service. You can help Officer Dylan Vakoff's family by donating to Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation. We have a link to donate on Denver7.com.
And Officer Vakoff's death comes just over a year since the Arvada Police Department lost another officer, Gordon Beasley. And today people are honoring one of Beasley's passions, bike riding. Townsend Retirement Planning partnered with Wish for Wheels to build bikes for elementary school kids. Officer Beasley was known for riding bikes to school with the kids at Oberon Middle School, where he was a school resource officer. 120 volunteers built bikes for 80 kids today, and the kids also got a bike helmet.
The names of nearly 470 fallen firefighters will be added to the Firefighter Memorial in Colorado Springs this weekend. Thousands of firefighters from across the U.S. and Canada will attend the ceremony. This is the first time it's being held since the pandemic, so this is the first time the ceremony will include firefighters who died in the line of duty over the past 2 years. Greg and Jody Sunday traveled from Pennsylvania to honor their son Stephen, who died in the line of duty in 2020.
Very mixed emotions. I'm very proud that he's being honored for his service, but I'm very sad that he's not with me.
Volunteers expect 8,000 people to attend. The ceremony starts at 10:30 tomorrow morning in Memorial Park.
New at 6, we are getting new developments on Elijah McClain's amended autopsy report. The 22-year-old died after Aurora police placed him in a carotid hold and paramedics injected him with a large dose of ketamine. Denver 7 filed a lawsuit with other media outlets to compel the coroner to release the amended autopsy, and today a judge weighed in. Investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski has been following this case closely and has this update.
The judge ordered the coroner to release the amended autopsy within 7 days, but that autopsy will be heavily redacted, and we're told may make its release meaningless since we likely won't see all the changes made by the coroner.
Here's why this is significant. A grand jury indicted 3 Aurora police officers and 2 paramedics in McClain's death.
I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
McClain died in police custody after medics injected him with a heavy dose of ketamine. The autopsy in 2019 found his cause of death was undetermined and not a homicide. An undetermined cause of death, legal experts tell us, would make it harder to hold the officers and medics accountable for his death. We still don't know exactly what was changed in the autopsy, but it could have a big impact on the criminal cases.
Denver 7 continues to fight for the coroner to release this amended autopsy. Autopsies are normally public record, but Colorado's Attorney General is making the argument that this is a grand jury exhibit and a criminal justice record, and therefore protected. We will have an update in the next 7 days. I'm Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski.
County commissioners in Clear Creek County taking a rare step tonight. They are weighing in on their own sheriff's department's conduct, calling it deeply troubling.
Now, one of multiple agencies coming forward reacting to disturbing body camera video in the police-involved shooting death of a 22-year-old Colorado artist. Denver 7 Investigates first broke this story on Tuesday.
The police-involved killing is even garnering the attention of our state's highest office. Governor Polis saying this tragedy should have never happened.
Christian Glass called police for help with his car back in June. Police justified killing Glass because they say he tried to stab an officer. But the family's attorneys say body camera video tells a different story. Now, we do want to warn you, this video is hard to watch.
Someone tase him.
Drop the knife!
Please drop the knife! Randy, you got that door held shut?
Deputy Andrew Buin was the officer who opened fire, and despite an open CBI investigation, Denver 7 has learned he's back on duty for the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office. We also know the district attorney's office is looking into the events that unfolded that night. In the meantime, we reached out to the Clear Creek County's Sheriff's Office, telling Denver 7 Investigates they have no comment. Denver 7 Investigates will be at a vigil for Christian next Tuesday.
There's a fair amount of just general traffic noise, and we get the pollution from that.
CDOT is changing course, reversing a decision to widen I-25. The changes the agency wants to make instead.
It's important that we're investing in ways that allow those people to walk, bike, and connect to things without always having to drive.
Some scattered showers still linger, but you're going to really like the weekend forecast.
Injuries hit the Broncos ahead of hosting the Texans. The adjustments the team is making to make sure they win their home opener.
It's one game at a time, and I mean, anything can happen in this league.